Welcome to my presentation about why we must all become digital citizens. Digital citizenship, what is it exactly? Digital citizenship is defined as the responsible use of technology by anyone engaging in society digitally at any level. Digital citizenship shows how to connect with others, empathize, and create lasting relationships using those digital tools. Bad digital citizenship is engaging in cyberbullying, irresponsible social media usage, and lack of internet safety knowledge. Why is it important to the USD 491 staff? USD 491 receives E-rate funds, which assists the district in implementing technology use in the classrooms. In order to continue receiving these funds from the Federal Universal Service Fund, the district must demonstrate compliance with the Children's Internet Protection Act. The CIPA requires that the districts need to teach students about technology safety and responsibility. Therefore, it is important that as teachers, we teach and model digital citizenship to our students. Explicitly teaching digital citizenship equips students with the knowledge, skills, and resources they need to succeed as lifelong learners. Some questions to consider when posting. These are questions that we as teachers can consider and questions that students should also consider. The first one is, what impression am I giving off by this post? Do I want this information out there? Am I oversharing? Would I want someone to share this about me? Does it pass the newspaper test? Meaning, would I want this on the front page of a newspaper? So again, these are questions all individuals should consider when posting. As teachers, we can model digital citizenship by asking ourselves these questions and teaching students to consider these questions as well. What if we don't teach digital citizenship? What can happen? We run the risk of students sharing personal information online, students engaging in cyberbullying, students viewing or sharing inappropriate content, and students not being prepared for the digital world. So what exactly should we teach? Some essential elements of a strong digital citizenship program include teaching privacy and security, digital footprint and reputation, self-image and identity, creative credit and copyright, relationships and communication, informational/digital literacy, cyberbullying and digital drama, and then internet safety. So how can we teach digital citizenship? The steps to teach digital citizenship include 1. Defining elements of digital citizenship, 2. Constructing or investing in a curriculum, and 3. Executing digital citizenship principles into typical teaching models and strategies we use in our classrooms. It is important to set clear rules and expectations surrounding digital citizenship, review them often, and model them to students. This encourages students to report any bad digital citizenship, such as cyberbullying, and holds all students accountable. So what are some good resources? I've listed resources in the next few slides that I used for this presentation that you can use for additional information and help, and I've given a brief summary for each. iSafe. iSafe is an industry which provides services for identity management, cybersecurity, and internet or e-safety instructional programming for education and commercial organizations. Their programming that they use is called DC4 Digital Programming, which provides over 450 lessons to prepare students for living a successful digital life. It is a paid program, so it could be something that our district invests in. Suggested Digital Citizenship Curriculum. This resource provides other resources to implement digital citizenship, including Common Sense Media, which allows you to review content before students look at it, and NetSmarts, which is an online safety education program with videos that are relevant and kid-friendly. Some other good resources, so Digital Citizenship Initiative, the Los Angeles County Office of Education provides in this resource an outline of their curriculum, which serves as a good example of what we can include in our curriculum. Some parts of the curriculum include media balance and well-being, privacy and security, digital footprint and identity, relationships and communication, cyberbullying, digital drama and hate speech, and news and media literacy, which we talked about. Most of these were in the first slide of what we should teach. And then what is digital citizenship and how do you teach it? This resource provides the different concepts of digital citizenship and what should be taught. Each concept is explained in depth and includes links to resources and lessons to implement in the classroom. So if you are looking for some more additional lesson ideas, I encourage you to check out that resource. Some other additional resources include Common Sense Education. Common Sense Education provides a detailed explanation of what E-rate funds are, who is eligible for those funds, and how to qualify for those funds. We as a district are qualified for those funds as we teach a digital citizenship program. The next resource, K through 12 Digital Citizenship Program, is a curriculum which empowers students to think critically, be safe, and participate responsibly digitally. It also follows requirements to receive E-rate funds. So this is another good example of how we could set up our curriculum or what we can invest in to use in our classrooms. The next two resources, a national broadband plan. This resource requires or reviews the requirements for E-rate funds and proposes revisions to the Children's Internet Protection Act, the CIPA. Some of the revision suggestions include adding that schools must provide for education of an appropriate online behavior, and then also there were some language adjustments in the act that were suggested for revision. The next one's compliance to moral imperative. This resource reviews the importance of E-rate funds and shows the connection between the requirements to receive the funds and the Common Core standards and where those are at in those standards. So, for example, Common Core describes digital literacy within the standards as informational literacy, and it is located in Writing Standard 6 and 8, Speaking and Listening Standard 5, and Reading Standard 7. So those can be utilized in the classroom as we use Common Core standards. Some other resources include Are Your Schools Ready? So this resource focused on the READY strategy. The R stands for Remind Students to be mindful of what they post online. E is encouraging students to step away from technology, take frequent breaks. A is accountability is key, so making sure they're being held accountable for what they do on the internet. D is demonstrating good digital citizenship, so demonstrating it for the students and having other students demonstrate it to each other. And Y is be a culture of yes when it comes to launching digital tools, so we can be up to date on the most recent digital tools. The next resource, Digital Citizenship, is more important than ever. This resource addressed REP. The R stands for respect for self and others, including etiquette, access, and law. These are important aspects that need to be taught to students. The students also should be taught the E, which is educating self and others, including literacy, communication, and commerce. And P is protecting self and others by learning rights and responsibilities, security, and health and wellness. The final additional resource I included are 5 reasons to teach digital citizenship. Goodness. This resource provides reasons to teach digital citizenship and how that can set students up for success in the life full of technology. The reasons to teach include information literacy, teaches students how to effectively find and use information. Cyberbullying prevention encourages reporting and holds students accountable. Online safety teaches students to visit appropriate sites, not share their personal information, and trust their gut. Digital responsibility teaches students about plagiarism and navigating potential threats online. Health and emotional wellness encourages students to limit the time on technology and to take breaks. My standard correlation for this assignment. My assignment demonstrated a correlation to the standard selected because I was able to reflect on, communicate about, and cultivate digital citizenship in order to support the success of students and adults. This assignment showed me how I can model good digital citizenship for staff members and students. Relevant. This assignment was relevant to my current learning because as the building leader, I need to make sure teachers and students are engaging in good digital citizenship. I also need to make sure that students are learning what it means to be a good digital citizen in order to use digital safety tools or digital tools safely and responsibly. This assignment improved my understanding of the content covered by providing me with multiple resources which define digital citizenship and how I can teach it in the classroom. In the last part, reflection. This assignment will influence the decisions I make as a future leader because I want to promote a positive school culture, and digital citizenship plays a big role in that. I feel more prepared to model, teach, and communicate about and cultivate digital citizenship within my school as a leader and currently as a teacher. Thank you. Here are my references.